When winning is the only option, the sharpest bettors in the world call me. Not because of what I know, but who I know. And the results, well, they speak for themselves. But talk is cheap, so let me show you. The Syndicate Insider Show starts now.
Hey, Mike, what's the Ravens score?
14-3 Cincy.
What are you, a homer rooting for a team that can't go anywhere? Still rooting, huh?
Always got next year.
Which year is that? You mean this year, not next year.
Right, because it's already 2017. As of today.
As of today. January 1st, 2017. I can no longer say make it a December to remember. I can say gear up for September to remember for all of you football degenerates that only care about what shape the ball is. Me, I don't care about what shape the ball is. As a matter of fact, my daughter was here earlier this week. I'll play a pink polka-dotted pink ball if there was a sport that needed to use a ball like this. It simply doesn't matter what shape the ball is. Bottom line is, if you're in it to win it, you're in it to win it. Where will I be this Saturday? Not today is Saturday, next Saturday.
Lovely Las Vegas.
Lovely Las Vegas. Once again, somebody said, you just left Las Vegas. Yes, the power in 2017 of an airline that will just take you 4 hours up and 4 hours back on a direct flight across the country. It is literally amazing what technology can do. How do you say Happy New Year in Russian?
Snova God.
Right. Today is present day, right? He's getting presents because that's what they do. It's like Christmas.
You got to tell them with the present I got my dad.
Yeezys. He's got his dad a pair of Kanye West Yeezys today. Big Dad is going to be big.
It's always
pimpin'.
easy season.
Exactly. Dad's big pimpin'. How old is your father?
He is 67.
67 wearing the Yeezys. If anybody can get him, this man can get him. Now, let's talk about trading versus betting. Too many people are interested in only the bowl games, only the NFL, only the upcoming playoffs. I'm not going to Vegas next week because of the playoff games. I'm going to Vegas because it's my Vegas roundtable. It's time to congregate with my clients. It's time to break bread with my clients. It's time to show them how to treat their betting as a business, not a losing hobby. Now, I've said it literally now going on my 31st season. So what does that mean? It means next September, when football starts again, it'll be my 31st season. Now, you could be over-obsessed, you could worry about what shape the ball is, or you can finally say, after shaking your head saying, why me, for the last 12 months, are you going to really make a New Year's resolution? Are you really going to come outside of the insanity of doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results? So what does that mean? Write this down. We're going to actually try to help you, Mike, and have the clients help themselves on this January 1st, 2017 video. How many games do you play a day? Write that down. How many games do you play a day? So what I want you guys to do when you watch this video is forget that question exists. That is the death question in your success. Hyper-focusing on how many games you play a day is a losing gambler's mentality. How do I know? How do I know how much food I'm going to eat today? I might be hungrier today than I was yesterday. I don't know. I might be thirstier today than I was yesterday. I don't know. Because information is information, and it has absolutely nothing to do with yesterday or today. It has to do with the now. If the system behind me is producing information that I didn't have hours ago, we're going to release that. Now, other companies, if you're watching this video on Scores and Odds, I'm not here, and I never have been in 31 years, a negative marketer. Sure, I tell everybody, look, the biggest bettors in the world pay me to show them how to trade sports. They don't pay me to bark about hot picks, hot locks, or break down games. I'm not a sports analyst. Do I know about these games?
Not really.
Not really. You know, he's a fantasy guy. He knows all about the games. He knows all about the players. Look, my soon-to-be 12-year-old son knows more about the games than I do. Here's what you need to know. None of that matters. Think of it like a hedge fund manager on Wall Street. He's managing his sources of information, And that's what he does best. He's not getting involved in the micromanaging, because when you micromanage, people hate you. Why hire people and then tell them what to do if they're specialists in their job? It would be like an owner of a restaurant going back into the kitchen every day and yelling at each individual person that's involved in making each process of the food. They'd all walk out and he'd be sitting there trying to put all the dishes together himself. It doesn't work. What works is having your connections do their individual work and report back to you, and then I make the ultimate decision at the end of the day. What you have to understand when you're watching videos and you're looking for the hyper-focusing on the now, the Sunday NFL card, understand this. When you rise out of yourself and you rise out of the gambling mentality, the losing mentality, and understand from someone that watches people bet with cash every 3 weeks in Nevada, not on credit, calling a man that's going to settle up with them every few weeks. I understand the mentality of the difference between playing on Monopoly money and playing at the window. Most people don't in the handicapping business. Most people that are advertising wherever you're watching this video are handicappers. They are sitting in their geographic location and never leaving it. They don't go to the gaming capital of the world where they're watching the money be traded in real time at the window. They are offering up their opinion, and they're not playing the games themselves at the window like I do. Does that make them bad? Absolutely not. Does that make them less than? Absolutely not. What it does make them is analysts providing you with their opinion, breaking down games with their opinion. And in 2017, it is 17.
It is.
How do you say 17 in Russian?
17.
I'm going to let him say it. In 2017, anyone can give you an analysis. You can go online and you can Google every game and get a broken down game from one perspective to the other perspective. Absolutely, I'm going to say it one more time. Absolutely, I'm going to say it one more time. Absolutely free. You need to pay no one for that information. You need to pay no one for that advice. You need to pay no one for that write-up. What you need to understand is traders are trading and they're trading numbers. That's it. And with the absence of that core understanding, you watching this video will never be successful, because you weren't successful in 2000. You weren't successful 5 years later. You weren't successful 10 years later. You weren't successful every New Year's Eve and day when you made that resolution that you weren't going to be obsessed with how many games do you play a day. Or the next question is, what's your win-loss percentage? What's your win-loss percentage? What's your win-loss percentage? But you can go to 60 Minutes, or you can Google the 60 Minutes interview with Kenny White, and you'll see that the biggest bettors in the world win 56% of the time. So if the biggest bettors in the world win 56% of the time, that means out of 1,000 wagers, they're going to only win 560 of them. What does win-loss percentage have to do with the price of tea in China? Absolutely nothing. Every stock has a different value. Every game has a different risk value. When you decide that you don't want to play 10 games for $100 and try to go 7-3, you can come out of your shell and actually make it a great new year. Otherwise, you'll be here next year asking yourself the same questions. Why does the house always win? Why does the house always lose? When you watch the video I did when I was with him in Vegas, and I was walking around the Palms and the guy was changing the light bulbs, we broke down the stats on the games at that point 2 weeks ago. Every game was pretty much 50-50.
50-50.
Dogs were 50-50. Favorites were 50-50 in the NBA. Dogs were 50-50 in college basketball. Favorites were 50-50 in college basketball. Dogs were 50-50 in the NFL. Favorites were 50-50 in the NFL. Same thing in overs and unders. The line makers are very good at what they do. You can flip a coin and go 50-50 betting every dog or every favorite without purchasing any information from anyone. What you can't do is get the money management. the implicit understanding of how to break down your money. If you're not worried about how many games you play a day, and you're not worried about your win-loss percentage, what you're worried about is understanding that if you play on credit, it becomes real cash when you win, it becomes real cash when you lose. If you play with cash, treat the cash correctly and manage it correctly. Mike, I'm going to let you close this video with Happy New Year in Russian and anything else you want to say. Soccer obviously is going to be coming on strong with the advent of moving into the soccer season with the Premier League. What do you want to say to sign off? He is unbearded. As you know, I have had this beard since March 9th. I will make it to March 9th because all I can say is I dig it. Nothing else.
Mom didn't like the beard. It's
Mom
fresh,
didn't
but,
like the beard.
You know, with soccer approaching, it's a year-round sport. It doesn't stop. There's no seasonality. They just go into the next tournament, and it's going to be extremely big. Now that football's over and now all the obsession of watching and all that's going to be gone, it's on to making real money with hoop season and marching into March Madness.
So that's it. Like I said, Happy New Year, guys. Decide if you want to be a gambler. Decide if you want to be a trader. Please don't call. Step out of the way. You're lifting into last year. How many games do you play a day? Don't call and ask that stupid question. What's your win-loss percentage? Don't ask that stupid question. Look for how can I manage my money? How can I get a rate of return greater than I can get anywhere else in the world? Then pick up and don't stall. Make the call. Happy New Year this January 1st, 2000, lucky 7/17.
S Novым годом.